Right, so picture this. The year is 2001, the year that the iPod is released. Movies like The Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and Shrek, they're all being released. And of course, it was the year of the 9/11 terror attacks. But Nintendo were about to release their new console, and it was called the Gamecube.
Switch Dude!
So Cube was a Gamecube magazine that I used to get, of course, at that time, 2001, 2002. I didn't have the internet, and any time I wanted to know something about a game coming out on the Gamecube, you'd have to look in this magazine. So if you guys can see here, it says 22nd of the 11th, 2001. So yeah, this is an old magazine. So here was a good game, Super Smash Bros. Melee. It's so popular, I think they still play it as an esport today. So what does it say here? It says, they all want to be the greatest Nintendo character, so let's fight to decide the winner. So this was probably my favourite game, and probably the best game on GameCube, Starfox Adventures. So initially, this was actually meant to be called Dinosaur Planet. It was being made by Rare, the game developer Rare, and they were making it Dinosaur Planet. Obviously, when Shigeru Miyamoto and Nintendo saw Dinosaur Planet, they gave Rare the Star Fox license, and they made Star Fox the main character of the game. They changed it from Dinosaur Planet to Star Fox Adventures, and for me, yeah, this was probably the best game on GameCube. It was the most enjoyable for me. Batman, Avenger, FIFA 2000. I remember back then, FIFA wasn't a good football franchise. It was actually all about Virtual Striker and ISS, International Superstar Soccer. But FIFA, back in the day, at this time, 2001, FIFA was not a good football game. I remember playing the FIFA games back then, and they were terrible. Okay, so we've got a little article here about the history of Nintendo consoles. We've got the Game & Watch, we've got the NES, we've got the SNES, and we've got the Game Boy. These two I owned. I think the SNES was the first console I ever played and ever owned, and then it was the Game Boy. And who we got here? We've got Shigeru Miyamoto, a very young Shigeru Miyamoto. He's a legend. He made Mario, Zelda, Yoshi, all those Nintendo franchises, and Gunpei Yokoi. He was the guy who made the Game Boy. He was an engineer at Nintendo. He's a legend of the industry. And we've got a little facts page here about the GameCube. It says here, it talks about how it's got 4 ports, how you could do 4-player. It speaks here, long-term memory, talks about the memory slots, and then it's got that event. Of course, the GameCube was notorious for being called, a purple toy brick. Of course, we've got the GameCube Controller. Now, it's still used today. It'll probably still be used on the Nintendo Switch when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate releases in December. So this was a very influential controller, I would say. The GameCube used these tiny little optical discs that could hold not much memory at all, really. And then you compare that to the PS2's DVD disc, which could hold a lot more memory. But obviously, they wanted a small optical disc so it could fit in the console. They can make the console smaller and have it that cube shape. Here we've got an article about third-party titles on the GameCube. So we've got Tony Hawk's 3, really good game. Whatever happened to the Tony Hawk's games? I used to love those. Resident Evil. So we look on this page, there's actually some good developers. We've got EA, Electronic Arts, Konami, Namco, Midway, Ubisoft, and Sega. So they had some decent third-party companies making games for them. The European launch of the GameCube was actually delayed. It was behind the launch of the GameCube in the US and Japan. In this article here it says that the UK launch is still on ice, because I remember it came out months after the US and Japanese launch, and I was sitting there waiting for it to release. It was a time when I couldn't wait for these games and these consoles. So, we've got the Panasonic GameCube DVD player GameCube. I never actually saw one of these in the flesh, but they looked really futuristic. So in this article here, it's hip to be square. It actually shows you some of the celebs that play Nintendo consoles. So let's bring that closer to the camera. So if you guys can see here, we've got Tara Reid, Bill Campbell. We've got Jason Biggs from American Pie. So a lot of American Pie actors from the movie American Pie play the GameCube. Who else we got here? Ashton Kutcher, Mandy Moore. Yeah, some pretty big names. Mila Jovovich, the actress. Some celebs used to play. Not the biggest A-list celebs, but hey, it's good enough to go in the magazine. Oh, you know how old a magazine is when you see David Beckham in it. This is an old magazine. So Soul Calibur 2. This was another big franchise, big fighting franchise that came out. I didn't actually play this one. I actually played. I didn't own the Dreamcast at the time, but I remember playing Soul Calibur on my friend's Dreamcast, and it was really good. So this was another really big franchise. I'm surprised I didn't actually play it when it came out for the GameCube. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I remember owning this on the release of the Switch. Ah, here we go. Metroid Prime. This was the first one, the first 3D one, I think. Metroid Prime on GameCube. It was a really good game. Think about it, they're now releasing Metroid Prime 4 for the Nintendo Switch. It's going to come out in the next couple of years. It says here, you guys can't see it, but it says the move into 3D is a bold one, but it looks like it's going to pay off. And it did, because Metroid Prime was a really good game. You've got XG3, futuristic motorbike racing game. Classic. Simpsons Road Rage. So I remember playing. I didn't actually own it on the GameCube. I should have, but I actually played it on the PS2. And it was really good. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, really good. SX Tricky, I really enjoyed that. Right, so this was a really good game on GameCube. Star Wars Rogue Leader. It had probably the best graphics on the GameCube. It was pushing a lot of pixels, a lot of polygons. Well, for the GameCube anyway. And graphically, this was one of the best games on the GameCube. It had some very famous scenes. Got the Battle of Hoth. Got the Death Star battle. That was really good. Resident Evil. They ported Resident Evil to the GameCube. So, according to this article, that Resident Evil on the GameCube compared to Resident Evil on PS1, it says here there is a difference. It says here, taste the difference. No one section of Resident Evil will remain untouched. Whichever screenshot you look at, you'll notice it has been changed in some way, whether it's a different camera angle, beautiful lighting, or additional furniture. You can be sure that Capcom is rolling out the red carpet for this one. So yeah, they must have improved it in some way over the PS1. So that's the PS1 and that's the GameCube. Yeah, the GameCube looks a lot better. The PS1 is very blocky. But you'd expect that, it's the next generation of consoles. Right, so Luigi's Mansion. This game actually received relatively low scores for a Nintendo first party game. And they didn't actually release a Mario or a Zelda game on the GameCube until a few years after the release, but they bet big that Luigi would be very popular. It had that mechanic where you use the vacuum cleaner, you have to suck in all the booze, all the ghosts. Yeah, it got 7.6 out of 10, which is relatively low. That, bearing in mind, this is a launch game. This is Nintendo's first party game that they launch with the console. Wave Race Blue Storm. So I actually owned Wave Race on Nintendo 64. That was really good. Even though this was good, I actually preferred Wave Race on the N64 than I did compared to Wave Race Blue Storm on the GameCube. So I'm going to read this little paragraph here. It says, complete the first championship and you'll really start to see where the power of the GameCube is going. So Wave Race Blue Storm got a very high score, 9.3. A roller coaster ride of aquatic action, superb and unlikely to be bettered ever. Well, it's quite some statement. Pikmin. So this was really good. This is somewhat like a strategy game as you build up your Pikmin and use them in different ways to complete the levels. But I enjoy Pikmin. Pikmin was good. So yeah, even Pikmin, look, 9.3 you got. And it says, did you really expect Mr. Miyamoto to come up with something less than brilliant? Here we go, Super Monkey Ball. So yeah, this was a good game. It was a party game really. You could play it on your own, but it was better with other people. But yeah, this was more of a party game. You got a pretty good score, 9.2. So you know this is an old magazine because obviously in this competition they're giving away a TV. If you look closely at the TV, you notice it's a CRT TV. And it even says here, I want my big TV, 28 inches, that's massive. Game Boy Advance, I owned a Game Boy Advance, it was good. And we've got an article here about Game Boy Advance games, Choo Choo Rocket, X vs Saber, I used to own that was good. Doom, I never owned that, but I think I should have, it must have been good. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Revival, that would have been really good on Game Boy Advance. International Superstar Soccer. And even though this is a Gamecube magazine, they're still selling advertising for other consoles like Xbox, and this is the original Xbox. And let's have a look what it says here. Bring it closer to the screen. So it says passion, love, sex, money, violence, religion, injustice and death. That's a pretty good marketing campaign actually, that sounds pretty cool. In the original Xbox you can actually burn songs to it. You could put a CD in and then you could burn songs onto the hard drive on the Xbox. So a very funny question here. Who invented Mario? Yuji Naka, Shigeru Miyamoto and Hideo Kojima. So if you know the answer, why don't you comment below and let me know who invented Mario. Alright, so that was my video talking about Cube, the Gamecube magazine. I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any other videos you want to see like this, let me know by commenting below. Let me know if you own the Gamecube, please comment below. Let me know if you had this magazine. And yeah, thanks for watching and please subscribe.
Switch dude!